Hello, my name is Ryan Bain. I'm here to present my part 2 of my thesis and capstone project, Social Media Metrics, Business versus Personal Measures of Success. So this is titled Part 2, What are the current metrics associated with business success and consumer satisfaction for social media? In a world where all forms of content can be digitalized, there seems to be a separation between marketers jumping into social media and their abilities to effectively measure it. Traditionally, likes and favorites have always been the cornerstone metric for social media sites for users to navigate through, news feeds, and interact with others. However, measuring social media success cannot be done using these traditional metrics. The nature of communication within these social media platforms has evolved and requires a new approach to determine ROIs. To further support this claim, during the summer of 2013, the Advertising Research Foundation, also known as the ARF, conference was held in Times Square, New York City from June 9th through the 11th. The ARF is an association where practitioners from every avenue of advertising, agency, academia, marketer, media, and research gather to exchange ideas and research strategies, and that is what the ARF's description is according to their website. This conference was located at the prestigious Marriott Marquis and hosted professionals within the media industry who talked about what their companies do and their specific types of research methods used to measure audiences. There are many great speakers that gave in-depth speeches on what their companies have been working on the past year. The first speaker was Jeff Bain. He represented Kantar Media to present the company's success in measuring audiences for automotive industry. Despite all the time spent on commercials used for advertisements, only about 4% of households in the U.S. buy a car annually. The way Kantar Media was able to measure their audience in this particular case was through the use of return path data, which is any user activity collected from a digital device, and tools such as TuneAway and the Commercial Tuning Index, also known as CTI, to help identify the values of commercial. This helped lead the advertisers successfully by targeting actual car buys and access viewer engagement so they can drive success. Another conference was called How AT&T Optimizes TV Allocations Through Multi-Stage Marketing Mix Models. The speaker was Charlie Payne on behalf of AT&T Mobility, Greg Farrow of AT&T, and Damon Samuel, also of AT&T, who all shared how AT&T was able to determine the return on investment, ROI, for each major component of its national TV buy, which includes network, cable, and sponsorship, and how multi-stage mix modeling approaches quantifies the ROI for specific TV networks and specific sponsorship investments. Throughout the speech, the most important details were about the sponsorship's effectiveness, driven by three factors. 1, the level of engagement. 2, the length of sponsorship. And 3, the synergy with AT&T. Now, the last session pertaining to social media was called the relationship era. The speaker was Bob Garfield, who worked for MediaPost and is co-host on NPR's On the Media, and author of publications including his latest book, Can't Buy Me Like. The speech focused on what is called the relationship era, where the only path for businesses seeking long-term success is to create authentic customer relationships. He's talked about how, in today's world, companies are using social media to advertise their products and services. Although it seems like a very good idea because millions of people in the U.S. use social media on a daily basis, you cannot rely on likes on a page as proof to show people actually like and buy the product and service. For example, Bob Garfield pulled up a slide of a Facebook page for a type of laundry detergent. He stated how the page only has 3 likes on it. Meanwhile, he flipped to the next slide, which has a Facebook page of the devil, which has over 600,000 likes. This compare and contrast example showed despite the number of likes on a social media page, those likes are not reliable data to be collected and be accounted for how well a product or service is doing in the marketplace. To further support Garfield's claim pertaining to companies can't rely on likes and favorites to determine profitability, this figure provided by eMarketer displays the top metrics used to measure social media success. Based on 342 U.S. SMBD professionals who surveyed in January 2016, 51% stated viewers were the top metric to determine social media success. This was followed by posts, 34%, interactions, 34%, audience growth, 32%, and shares, which was 30%. Notice how 3 years later, after Garfield's conference in 2013, likes and favorites are not credited as the top metric for businesses to determine ROIs. Now, despite the results, it seems still remains unclear why metrics such as a view is the top measurement to determine social media success. For example, just because a viewer was exposed to a company's content doesn't mean that person will buy their product and become a loyal customer. This disconnect pertains to businesses utilizing the wrong metrics. The mistake companies are making is they're misusing metrics to determine their ROIs because they were originally designed for personal use. Instead of exploiting likes, companies should use a metric designed for business, such as a unique visitor. According to the Marketing Accountability Standard Board, unique visitors refer to the number of distinct individuals requesting pages from the website during a given period, regardless of how often they visit. Visits refer to the number of times the site is visited, no matter how many visitors make up those visits. When an individual goes to a website on Tuesday, then again on Wednesday, this is recorded as 2 visits from 1 visitor. The purpose of tracking unique visitors is to help marketers understand website user behavior. Since a visitor can make multiple visits during a period of time, the number of visits may be greater than the number of visitors. Therefore, a visitor can sometimes be referred as a unique visitor to clearly convey the idea that each visitor is only counted once. So this concludes part 2 of my thesis and capstone project, social media metrics, business versus personal measures of success. And the next video you'll be watching is part 3. Thank you, and I'll see you in part 3. Thanks. Bye.